BMF episode 6. We are past the halfway mark, so let's get into this recap and review. As we already know, every episode starts with a flashback. Terry is in Mexico talking with the kid who Loco thinks might be a spy, and he feels so much sympathy for him that he decides to let the kid go. Why did Meech and Loco leave Terry the bleeding heart with this kid? I do not know. But of course, when Loco gets back, what do you think happens? He kicks the crap out of Terry, and this is to be expected. I don't think he liked Terry at all anyway, and this was his opportunity to finally let it all out. Lucky for Terry, Meech was there because there was no way Terry was winning this fight with Loco. He would have been left there in Mexico in that cabin. Back to the future, we found out that Purdy is alive. She survived the shooting in the strip club. Looks like we will be seeing more of her. Meanwhile, Terry gets Push's right-hand man ready to double-cross him, and he sends none other than B. Mickey to take Pusha out. I don't know if this was a good idea. B. Mickey goes there. He has a clear shot, but he says he missed the shot. He tells Terry what happened, and Terry basically kicks him out the group and says there's no use for him. In which B. Mickey responds with, "Are you still coming to the wedding?" Which is hilarious, but okay, I just didn't assassinate the guy you wanted me to assassinate, but pull up to the wedding, bro. So let's talk about the wedding. B. Mickey has a small but nice wedding. Lucille decides to sing at the wedding, which causes Terry to say to Charles, "As soon as your music career ends, Mom's music career begins," which is a messed up thing to say to poor Charles. Of course, he gets pissed off and walks off. I mean, why would you say that, Terry? I don't think he knew the ramifications of that comment, but man, it was just messed up. Charles, man. Besides that, Nicole takes this time to tell her boyfriend Breeze that she's pregnant. I guess she wanted to do it in a public space with a bunch of people so he didn't flip out just in case, but they seem to have handled it pretty well. He seems like a good guy, and he's going to be around for the baby. Lucille catches wind of it, and she confronts Nicole at the end of the wedding. And again, Charles just seems blindsided and like he doesn't know what's going on. Terry is shocked by it, and he thinks it could possibly be Worm, so you know where that's going to lead. But Lucille here had a moment to bond with her daughter and be that motherly figure, and she just dropped the ball. She went off on Nicole, and I kind of felt bad for Nicole here. Like, her mother is just tripping out. I always said Lucille wasn't one of my favorite characters, and she's just getting worse and worse. I guess it's time for this segment that I hate to love, and that's Everybody Hates Charles. Let's talk about Charles in this episode. First off, he's guzzling pills with the hurt hand, and luckily Nicole comes to his aid and tries to comfort him. But apparently that isn't enough, because later, Lucille decides to chew him out because she can't get public assistance with him living in the house. So she berates him about how much he's a loser and he can't provide anything with his handicap. And this pushes Charles pretty far to the edge. And when I say far to the edge, I mean to the point where he wants to delete himself from life. Yes, he goes through a gripping emotional scene. I mean, Russell Hornsby, the actor who plays Charles here, this is where you see him really shine. This scene hurt me to the core. It was good that his family was there to comfort him. Even Lucille tried to the best she could. But man, it was so sad to see. Everybody hates Charles, man. We got some new players on the show now, the Moors, and they were introduced in this scene that was just completely erratic. I mean, they showed up at some guy's house. Apparently, they were just occupying it. Pusher shows up and just unloads on them with machine guns. It was just a big shootout. It was almost like something out of John Wick, and it just came out of nowhere. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but to me, it was just like, whoa, what are we doing here? This is a lot. But now we got the Moors here, and they're not playing around. Detective Brian had my boy Duffy under interrogation, and man, do I like Duffy, man. He's one of the coolest guys on the show. Everybody needs a friend like Duffy, but Brian is up to some real dirty tricks, and he brings in his incarcerated, dying father. His father proceeds to tell him that he might as well just snitch because he doesn't want to end up like him, in jail for something that he didn't do and dying. And this is a real tough scene for Duffy, man. He's having a real moral dilemma on if he should snitch on Meech, not going down for someone else, and then eventually dying and rotting away in jail. Such a rough moral dilemma that can spark a lot of real life conversations. But Duffy was way more solid than Detective Brian thought and threw his plea deal back in his face. Shout out to Duffy for standing 10 toes down, man. I knew I liked that guy. Everybody needs a friend like Duffy. He's definitely my top 3 favorite characters ever on this show, and I hope this turns out well for him. I would hate to see something bad happen to that man. Sweetie, aka Kia, shows up for the first time on this season, and Meech convinces her to trade on her cousin and put him on to push his enemies. It really didn't take a lot to convince her. I know she had a thing for Meech at one point, but it seems like Meech really has the gift of gab. That's like his superpower, is to make people make questionable decisions. Push's right-hand man spills the beans to Meech that Terry told him to overtake Pusha, and Meech isn't happy about it. They can't seem to get on the same page, and he proceeds to manhandle this little guy. And when I say little guy, did anybody notice how small this guy was to Meech of all people? Like, where did they get this guy? Is this a camera trick? Is this real? What is going on? Maybe I'm the only person who thought it was weird, but it's like Meech was a giant in that scene. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. After Terry found out Nicole is pregnant, he decides to man up and put hands on Worm. What is going on with Terry? Is he actually starting to become a gangster in these streets? I don't know, but he does pressure Worm and says if the baby is his, he has to step up. Rightfully so. Good on Terry. But that's not his only gangster moment on the show. Markeisha tells him that Boom is staying at the house. He proceeds to go over there and put a whipping on Boom. I mean, it's a clear W in Terry's favor. I couldn't believe it. Is this a turning point in Terry? Is he going to become the guy who just enforces everything on his own? I don't know. But he still has a soft spot for Markeisha because I would have kicked her and Boom right on the curb or sent them on the first train packing or something even worse. I don't know what he sees in this girl. Meech pays a visit to Pusha and tells him that he's out of the game. He's cutting him off, which I don't understand why Meech thinks he can just walk up to anyone in any position, whether they're a dealer or a gangster or a record exec, and kind of just tell them off like he's their father and walk out. I mean, if you're going to make these type of big threats to people, you're going to have to take them off the board. These guys are not pushovers. So obviously, Pusha retaliates. He winds up killing his former right-hand man, and I don't know what Meech expected there. He's lucky he made it out of there alive. So that's basically the major things from this episode, but there was a major final scene. So let's talk about that. The final scene of this episode was a banger. We found out so much about B. Mickey. Man, I didn't know if he could be trusted. He almost won me over. He is on a full-on villain arc. He proceeds to tell his wife how he's getting revenge on the Flenory brothers. I mean, he went as far as getting Lamar to get upset about Meech being back and then shooting him to get back in their good graces. He set up the plan to not kill Pusha and just cause a rift between everyone by missing on purpose. I mean, this guy is relentless and diabolical. His wife even asked him at one point to stop, or if he would stop. And the answer is a big fat no. He's seeing this to the end. He's going to make them feel pain like he felt pain. This is the greatest villain on this show so far. Whoever decided to write this in for B. Mickey's character, or if this was the plan from the beginning, I don't know, but I like it. This episode ending fire. What do you guys think about it? Do you think the show is ramping up? We're more than halfway through. We got about 4 episodes left. I'll be here recapping all of them. Let me know down in the comments. What's up with B. Mickey? Did you see this coming? Do you think he was that smart? What do you think about Nicole's pregnancy? Where's that going to go? Is it Worm? Is it Breeze? Let me know down in the comments, and make sure you hit the subscribe. Check out the last few interviews I did with the cast members. We have Clifton Powell. We got Donna Rollins. We got Lila Pruitt. We got Sydney Mitchell. I mean, it's just been rolling right here for BMF on this channel. So stick with me. And I also do plenty of reviews on other things. And if you want me to review something, you could drop that in the comments too, man. I'm open to watching new stuff. I'll see you guys next week. I'm out.